Take podcast audio that sounds like this and make it sound like this. I'm here to walk you through how to get the most out of Boris Effects CrumplePop's voice enhancer for your podcast audio workflows. All right, I'm here inside of Avid Media Composer. And just keep in mind, if you actually have a audio-only podcast, you can do this CrumplePop workflow inside of both Logic as well as Audition. Let me play back this podcast episode I have with astronaut Terry Virts, who filmed in space.
I tell you, as an astronaut, whenever I see space movies, I'm like, they're not floating. And I think that's a good blend of real world plus computer world. And that's how I'd like to film. If I ever get a chance to film space movies, that's how I like to do it.
I can hear that there's a little bit of echo in the dialogue. And overall, I just would like to enhance it so that his sound sounds a bit meatier for the podcast episode when we release it. So what I'm going to do is head over to my effects palette in Avid. We're going to go over to the audio clip tab, and we'll see a series of CrumplePop folders. The best part is we can start and end our workflow in many situations with a voice enhance. I'm going to grab this effect, drag it onto my audio clip, and I want you to take note that it's a blue dot effect in Avid. So if we tried to play this back in the timeline, we're not going to hear the result of the voice enhance. So for that, let's go into effect mode, and we'll see that we get this lovely little UI here, which allows us to preview as well as change the voice enhance effect. Let's see what it's done with the default settings.
I tell you, as an astronaut, whenever I see space movies, I'm like, they're not floating. And I think that's a good blend of real world plus computer world. And that's how I'd like to film. If I ever get a chance to film space movies, that's how I like to do it.
As we can see, it's done a fantastic job of cleaning up the audio, and you could always just preview the before by clicking on the off button here. I'll click preview again.
I tell you, as an astronaut, whenever I see space movies, I'm like, they're not floating. And I think that's a good blend of real world plus computer world. And that's how I'd like to film. If I ever get a chance to film space movies, that's how I like to do it. An astronaut, whenever I see
and there we can see where the voice enhance came in. Now, if you're looking to change a few parameters, look no further than just the strength value. Setting this somewhere between 60 and 85 is usually where I end up, depending on how much echo there is and how much we want to enhance the voice. So this is a great place to start and end with this effect for your cleanup. It should also be noted that there are a few different voice enhance models that you can take advantage of. In the situation where you have a much more noisy indoor room, someone's chatting and there happens to be 10 people talking behind them, you can always start off with indoor noisy, and it's going to produce a different result. If your podcast was recorded outdoors for any reason, here's a voice enhance feature for that. And we can see the interface changes automatically. Now that we've seen the basics, let's look at a slightly more complicated and problematic example. Okay, let's play back the second example.
Not a sweltering day, I'd say go into Boston, catch a Red Sox game, walk around Boston as much as you can, because it's a very walkable city. I miss it. I'm up in the suburbs now, and I enjoy the suburbs, but I do miss those kind of very spontaneous days where you just walk about, or just.
And as we can see, this clip has a lot more echo, not to mention a little bit of distortion. Now, one way that we can work with CrumplePop effects is at the track level. In the bottom left-hand corner of the Avid interface, if we click on the fast menu, let's bring up the track control panel. We can add up to 5 effects. And what I'm going to do is click the second slot to add the CrumplePop voice enhancer here. So I'm going to click on no insert. Let's go to noise reduction where we're going to find this, and that's where the voice enhance is. Now, one thing to note is I can actually move my playhead here in the timeline, and unlike the blue dot method on the clip-by-clip basis, I can preview it right away.
Not a sweltering day, I'd say go into Boston, catch a Red Sox game, walk around Boston as much as you can, because it's a very walkable city. I miss it. I'm up in the suburbs now, and I enjoy the suburbs, but I do miss those.
So to clean this example up, we can try a few things. One is to try a different model, indoor noisy. Increase the strength of the output by a little bit. And there's also a refine option. This is going to make subtle adjustments to the voice, fix the audio with double voice artifacts like we have in this case. So I'll just increase that a little bit. And I'll also increase the output, which is the overall levels in this case of the track. I'll move my playhead back to the beginning and then just press the spacebar.
Not a sweltering day. I'd say go into Boston, catch a Red Sox game, walk around Boston as much as you can, because it's a very walkable city. I miss it. I'm up in the suburbs now, and I enjoy the suburbs, but I do miss those kind of very spontaneous days.
And as we can see, we've cleaned up the audio quite a bit. Now, the best part about it, adding it to the second slot, if I close this audio track effect, the voice enhance, I can select the first slot and actually add a CrumplePop effect for noise reduction before this. So in this instance, I'm going to apply Echo Remover. Echo Mover is going to be processed before the voice enhancer. And the best part is I can work with this in the timeline.
Not a sweltering day. I'd say go into Boston, catch a Red Sox game, walk around Boston as much as you can, because it's a very walkable city. And
let me just turn this off so we can see what the result was before with just the voice enhance.
Suburbs now, and I enjoy the suburbs, but I do miss those kind of.
And now the voice enhancer processing this after Echo Remover has been added. I'll increase the strength a little bit.
I think Massachusetts beaches are beautiful, and spend a lot of time at the beach.
So the track tool can be a much more flexible workflow for getting that real-time playback in your timeline and being able to pre-process effects when required in those problematic scenarios. And there you have it, working with the one-stop shop voice enhancer for cleaning up noisy audio from your podcasts. Keep in mind that we could also apply this workflow when it comes to audio only by using Audition as well as Logic and CrumplePop effects in there. For more tips and tricks just like this, don't forget to subscribe and check us out at boriseffects.com.